Rich, first things first, Happy New Year to you and to all of our lovely viewers.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
We're jumping into the new year. You know what? I wasn't really going to do this, but then Josh mentioned something and he was a little bit like, I'm kind of curious. So I'm like, you know what? The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is out on Friday. And he was like, what's the difference between the PlayStation versions? So we're like, the PS5 already got a patch. Like close to just after launch when it came out, whenever. But this is actually the PS5 version. So like this is all PS5 throughout the video. The left is the original on 60 FPS because you could change it to 30 FPS. You've got Fidelity mode on the remastered, which is solid 30, and you've got performance mode in the remastered, which is solid 60. So let me run you through the modes. So remastered is Fidelity mode. It favours resolution over frame rate, and it renders and outputs at 4K with a target of 30 FPS. While performance is balanced resolution and frame rate, rendered at 1440p, then output at upscaled 4K or 1440p, depending on video output console settings, and the target is 60 FPS. Now, the reason we're doing this, Rich, is because the press releases and everything are saying there are graphical improvements. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered features native 4K performance and fidelity, frame rate improvements, and supports variable refresh rate. Graphical updates include increased texture resolution, level of detail distances, sun shadow, texture resolutions, improved animation, sampling rate, and more. Now, as you can see, Rich, I can't really see it. You might see a little bit of the odd detail, maybe in the extra grass in front and on that tree in the middle, but it's minute.
I'm struggling,
Yeah, so you'll see it in the next shot coming up.
Yeah.
Basically, this is inside the theatre, and it's hard. It's a little bit more focused in Fidelity mode than it is on the original, the old version versus the performance version. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a 900% zoom, Rich, onto a clock. And it'll give you a rough idea of the slight differences there is. As you can see, Fidelity is a little bit more crisp than the original, obviously because of the resolution.
Well, why haven't they put this on the back of the box? The clocks now have proper hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that until you said that. I was looking more at the numbers. But yeah, I don't know why it's called a remaster. Because it does look slightly better if you look at the grass down the bottom by the horse.
Clock hands. Come on.
The what, sorry?
Clock hands.
Oh, the clock hands. I don't know what I thought you said then. But I would actually call this more of a definitive edition, like a director's cut, because there are minute. Because with a remaster, you can't. The connotations that go with it are it's a visual upgrade.
Yeah.
But I would say this is more about the lost levels, which is 20 minutes worth of extra gameplay and no return, but also the dev commentary than the actual visual improvements, which I'd argue that the perhaps aren't any.
I think if you're being kind, you'd say they're very subtle.
Yeah, so we got a cutscene. We do a side by side on this, Rich. Because I just thought I'd do that. So, in the cutscenes, there isn't much of a difference at all.
No.
But to be fair, there isn't that much of a difference across the board. So yeah, but there is enough for them to put it on a press release and say there are graphical improvements, right? It's a little bit sharper.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that the PS5 version, all it got was a frame rate boost, right? If I remember rightly.
I think so.
But the crazy thing is, right, The Last of Us Part 2, the original one, the PS4 Pro, looked phenomenal anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have that graphical jump, especially in, when did it come out? 2020? So 3.5 years? The industry hasn't moved on that much, whereas the last time they did a remaster, the industry had moved on tenfold.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those games that was kind of really starting to get the most out of the PS4 as well, wasn't it? So
yeah, I actually think it probably no other game has got that out the PS4 Pro.
No.
That I can think of anyway.
No, I'd agree with that.
if you think about this isn't just a linear game as well. There's massive open world environments like downtown, and when you're going through like Capitol Hill and places like that, there's different routes to take and stuff like that. So it's not a linear game. So to get the visual fidelity that they got at the PS4 and on the original versus obviously what they get now, there isn't that much. But as you can see, like it is slightly sharper in fidelity. So and it is the best version.
Right.
But like, I couldn't get past 30 FPS. I don't know why. I played it originally on 30 FPS.
Yeah.
So
what you preferred playing at 60 with this?
I did actually really enjoy it in 60 because the combat's quite.
Yeah.
It's kind of fast paced a little bit. Like I know it's not like a first person shooter, but it's a lot of like repositioning. Right?
See, I used to swear by 30, but I find myself leaning more towards going for 60 these days.
Like if I start a game on 30, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But if I play it on 60 for even a minute,
it's jarring.
I can't go back.
Yeah, I agree.
But it actually is a very good version of the game. It's an excellent version of the game. It is the best version of the game by far. And like you'll see a little bit as in terms of when it goes back to the part 2, the original. In terms of like there seems to be a little less density in terms of stuff, and like the performance mode and the fidelity on the remastered version is just a lot more populated. I guess that's the easiest way to sum it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting one, Rich. It really is. But there's no doubt about it. It is the best version of the game, like without a shadow of a doubt. Like,
but yeah,
and the developer commentary is brilliant. No Return is great, and it's good for it's good for the $10 or £10 upgrade.
I was going to say, it seems to be a great option if you're planning to upgrade. You get that extra content, that extra No Return mode. But
if you've not played it before,
this
is the perfect version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of win-win, I suppose.
I mean, you don't have to buy it. That's the beauty of like consumers, right? They get the choice on whether they want to buy something. But honestly, I played it through for the lost levels, only to realise after I completed the game, going, where were the lost levels? They're actually buried away in a menu.
Right, there from the beginning.
They're not actually part of the game.
Right.
So yeah, they were there from the beginning. Yeah, because I just went looking for them, and I was like, oh, so there they are.
Is it the sort of thing that they could have integrated into the game?
No, they're not finished.
Right.
They're not finished at all.
Okay.
So yeah, it's one of them that's like they're nice to have, but I wouldn't buy this just for the last levels.
Right.
I'd buy this for the dev commentary, which is great. The slight visual upgrade is fine, but for me, No Return, the new roguelike mode, not roguelite, is great fun because the combat in this game is just brilliant. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games that the narrative is phenomenal, and like hopefully everyone's got over the heartbreak by now. But the narrative is phenomenal. I don't think they have, Dan. No, I don't think they have either. No. But like I actually quite like that everyone is at risk in video games. I'm not going to say anymore, but yeah. But like I said, Rich, best version of the game. Play it for No Return. Lost Levels is cool. Developer commentary is great. It's only done over cutscenes. I'd like to have seen it more like in the game, like stuff to interact with. I don't know. But yeah, that is The Last of Us Remastered. Part 2, sorry. It's out on Friday. Thanks for watching, folks. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Cheers, folks. Goodbye.
Bye.